Welcome to WTF is Web3, where we untangle the uncertainties of Web3 technologies. Be sure to check out the show notes for more information, giveaways, and ways to stay in touch. You're also going to want to make sure that you're subscribed to our podcast, our YouTube channel, and our private group so you don't miss out on exclusive content, freebies, and much more. If this episode seems like it was stripped out of a longer conversation, that's because it was. This is what we call a shallow dip, because it's basically the opposite of a deep dive, where we're going to give you a brief explanation of a concept, a term, or a topic that we just felt you would dig without having to listen to an entire episode. However, if you do want to listen to the entire episode, I invite you to check out the show notes, because that will get you to that longer episode and you can hear everything in context of the original conversation. Now that we've got that explanation out of the way, let's jump into the episode.
A good question here is, how important is this AR and VR-ness to a metaverse? Do you have to be really feel like you're in it, or can it just be something that you experience over your phone or through a laptop or even on a television?
I think that as metaverses come into maturity, the AR and VR abilities are going to be more expected. It's just like, if we went back to Web 1.0, the expectations of a website were very, you could basically have a little bit more work than, just a basic blog. And now comment sections and logins and all this other stuff starts becoming what's expected and necessary to really keep people engaging with your website through, the additions in Web 2.0 and now eventually Web 3.0. There's just going to be to keep up with the Joneses. I think that is going to be at least an option. You might not have to engage specifically through AR and VR. You could still do desktop engagement. And I know some of the projects they intend to have apps where you can engage in. That could be like an AR type of thing, where you're engaging, you're in the metaverse, specifically Earth 2, where you could be sitting at an airport. You got a layover at an airport, you're bored, and you want to see what is there, because Earth 2 is a 1-to-1 scale of the Earth. It's a very bold metaverse project, and that will allow you to engage instead of just flying around the board or the world or whatever. You can actually see what happens to be right there. So while you're, like I said, bored, see what this looks like, see what someone built here at this airport while you're waiting for your flight, or while you're waiting for, your wife to select some shoes at the mall, or whatever. The AR will be the AR and the VR will be, at first they'll be differentiators, and eventually I think they're going to be basically requirements, where you won't just be as successful as the other projects by not having that depth to the experience. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this shallow dip. But if you want more information and more conversation, I invite you to check out the episode notes and our channel, because not only can you listen to the entire conversation from which this clip was stripped, but there's also going to be more episodes that do a deeper dive on this specific topic. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to make sure you don't forget to check out the information and the links in the show notes. Some of that stuff is going to get you into freebies and raffles and contests and all sorts of other promotions. But also, we've got a private group dedicated to our listeners and our followers. We would love to see you there, love to see you collaborate, join, and get exclusive content that we are only distributing through these other means. Speaking of distributing through other means, I want to make sure that you're also subscribed to our podcast, our YouTube channel, and again, join that private group so you know everything that we know as soon as we know it.